Hi, you're live with Squacky, and today we're interviewing Asbury Wilkins. Hi, Asbury, thanks for joining us.
Hello.
So tell us what you're working on right now.
Currently, I'm attending the New York Conservatory for Dramatic Arts here in New York City.
Okay, and what classes are you currently taking?
Currently, I'm taking slew of classes. Suzuki training right now, which is focused on creating a body that is prepared for speech, lowering centers of gravity, things of that nature. Also, I'm taking Meisner, also improvisation, acting lab, as well as foreign film genres, which is a lot of fun altogether.
Cool. And what's your favorite class?
I'd have to say my favorite class is Suzuki. Physically, it's a challenge, and there's a goal of perfection that you would attempt to reach that's actually physically impossible, and I love that because no matter what, you have a dangling carrot in front of you, you'll never reach it, but it causes you to try harder nonetheless.
And what would you say you've learned so far from living in New York City that you'd share with aspiring actors as far as just the city itself and the environment and how it differs from, kind of coming from a small town of being in Fredericksburg before and then really making that leap and moving to New York City? I would say probably a lot of actors would look at that and go, wow, you did it, you're here and you're doing it, and that's so great. Is there anything that you've learned so far from just being in the city itself that you would say would be good advice for someone who is maybe thinking of doing a similar type of thing?
I would say one thing that first off, actually, I'd say to anyone who's thinking about moving, I'd say go ahead and do it. At the end of the day, don't think of it as you're moving to New York City, think of it as you're moving. I think that's a good way to see it, and it's less threatening. There's less fear involved of that sudden transition and change of life. But if this is what you want to do, then I think that it's a necessary thing to do. And as far as what I've learned here since I've been here, it's that, this is going to sound very cliche, the city never stops. There's always something going on, and if you want to attempt to do something, acting, film are on point, and that you're constantly working on whatever it is, whether it be trying to go to school, whether it be trying to prepare for your next monologue, whatever performance you have to do. There's a lot of preparation, and due to the fact that you're now here, you have to ensure that you do have your A game and that you put forth the effort, because if you don't, they will see that the moment you walk through the door.
Okay, good advice. What would you say your strengths are in the acting industry? As an actor, what are your strengths?
As an actor, I'd have to say that I feel my strengths as an actor are that I'm open. I think that's what you have to have as an actor, is that you have to be open and you have to be able to take input. If someone gives you a direction or says something about you, you need to be accepting and embracing of that information. Process it. Don't just let it come in one ear and out the other. You need to process it, and you need to adapt that, because there are a lot of times you're going to hear things that you might like or dislike, and regardless of how you feel about it, you need to process it, because it helps you become a better actor, because listening is the biggest thing. And so for me, I think my strength is that I'm open. I think that is something that I feel like I'm more open than most.
Okay. So where do you aspire to be once you finish with school?
Once I'm done with school, my goal is actually to move to London to continue school again. In between that, at that point in time, between school here in New York City and going to school in London, my goal is to begin auditioning more than I have now, and to be able to go at it with the full passion and consistency that I have in the past.
Okay. So who are your acting role models?
Ooh, I like this. Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle is huge to me because I feel like he has been around for a very long time, and I feel like Don Cheadle is an actor that a lot of folks don't necessarily think of immediately. But I think that once you do hear his name, it has a very strong influence, a very strong positive influence within you. And that is an actor that I would strive to be.
Okay. And what genre of acting would you most like to work in? Like Broadway, film, TV? Do you want to kind of have your hand in a little bit of everything? Do you see yourself starring in the next Broadway show? Or what is your passion for?
The stage will always be my passion. That is always my first love, my first true love. But I feel like film is definitely something that can be more fruitful at times. But I do want my hands a little bit in everything. I think that is a good way to go because it keeps you open and allows you to be more flexible.
Okay. So what have you learned that you wish you would have known when you very first started out your acting career? What do you think you've learned that's been most valuable to you that you could share with other aspiring actors?
When I first started, I think I actually had a friend who kind of got me into professionally, and he helped me break fear. I think a lot of times people say that they want to do something, but they allow the fear to stop them. So the thing that I learned is that fear is a good thing because it teaches you lessons. But I would say that you should get past that fear, acknowledge it, and get past it. And dumb luck. Dumb luck's also a very important lesson that I learned.
Okay. Good advice. If you could be on any TV show or in any film or anything, what would it be and why? Like, out of all the stuff that's out there right now, if you could just say, I want to do this, what would it be?
Right now, it would be Arrow. I think Arrow is, it's a show on the CW. It's consistently entertaining. It has a little bit of everything in it for me. Or Gotham, which is brand new. Gotham is something I greatly enjoy. It's the cinematography is very beautiful. And I'd say, like, movie-wise, I'd have to say anything Marvel-oriented, because the Marvel universe is huge, and it's so creative, and it's all interconnected, and I really love that.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us today. It's been a pleasure. And we wish you the best of luck in your acting career, and we can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks.